All right, people beginning to log in here. Those of you on a minute or two early, it's great. We'll hang out here. Feel free to drop some texts in the chat on the side. We'll wait for a few more people to get in before we get rolling today. If you didn't see my remind earlier, you can get a separate device nearby. If you want to do, we're going to do a small Kahoot at the end of the video, and you can be ready to do that. Got a few social studies questions and a few other fun questions on a Kahoot. We'll try it out and see how that works. Glad to see a few students from Mrs. Clark's classroom joining us tonight too. I know that she passed that link to my remind along, and so you guys have been able to catch up on my videos as well. Glad to have you with us tonight. All right, well, we're going to get rolling. Tonight's video is going to be a little bit different than the ones that I've produced before. Just giving you guys a chance to throw some chats in the chat box on the side there. Also, I'll try to keep an eye out over there for questions that come along when we start talking about some of the things that you guys have been doing for work at home. Before we get started, I want to make sure for students especially that we make sure that all of our comments are appropriate, that we're speaking with kindness, just like we would when we're in person. Sometimes it's tempting to try to be funny or do something that would not be appropriate. So let's make sure that we keep that on target here. Otherwise, these won't work, and we'll just have to go with regular videos. So I'm hoping that we can keeping it respectful and responsible like we do at Pinewood. Today, even to get started, I thought that I would ask this question. Students in my classroom, we always start our circles with a simple question that talks about how are you doing today? And we say, how's the weather? And so as we were to go around a circle right now, how about everybody gives a little weather shout out? I know it's been a little bit crazy, but how are you doing? Is today for you sunny? Is it partly sunny? Is it partly cloudy? Is it stormy? Why don't you go ahead and give some shout outs on the side? I know it's kind of funny to do that, not all being face to face, but let's see some weather reports coming around the horn here. Go ahead and throw those weather reports in the chat box over there. And as you're starting to look at those, and as I'm starting to see to run through, I have a feeling that some of you have probably had moments today that it was stormy or rainy, but hopefully right now, even just being able to hear from a few of your friends, it's turning it back into sunny. I'll tell you, one of the most important things that we can do, as many of us are stuck in our homes and not being able to see very many people or go very many people, is to use technology to talk to each other. You guys are a great group of students, and the way that you guys treat each other is awesome. So my hope is that some of these maybe cloudies or stormies that I'm seeing over there, that those people are going to start to get some texts from some friends, or whether you use Snapchat or just sending messages to them. Get them on FaceTime after this video, especially a friend that you maybe haven't talked to since last Friday. Give them a call after this video is over tonight, and hopefully these little weather reports can be good for us. All right, I got one more question for you guys. Actually, maybe a couple here coming. What has been your favorite thing to do in the last couple days when you've had extra time? But there's a rule. The rule is that your favorite thing to do can't involve a screen. So something you've done on your own, something you've done with maybe one or two friends, something with family. What has been the favorite thing that you guys have been doing at home? So I want to see those coming up in the chat over there. What have you been doing at home? Has there been games you've been playing, board games, cards? Have you done any exercise stuff? Have you got to go outside? What have you guys been doing? I see pets over there, some art type stuff. That's awesome. What else have you guys been doing at home? Yeah, we've been on bike rides too. Been playing some baseball catch, playing some board games at our house, doing all that kind of stuff. So cool to see what you guys are doing. Yeah, it's good. Good. Maybe some of this artwork will find its way to Pinewood when we're done, and we'll see the amazing things that you guys have been working on. I know we have a ton of artists, great cartoonists and comics and drawers, painters, all kinds of stuff that I've seen your work. So it's pretty cool to see. Oh, Denver, yeah, you and Carter have been working on that thing. You're going to get a lot of work done in this. That's going to be so cool. Bunch of bike riders, absolutely. It's not been awesome weather, but it's been enough to go. I actually rode my bike to Pinewood yesterday to go help Mr. Keene out with a few things. Oh, did I see a comment from Mr. Keene come in there? Awesome. I sent him a text and said he should make a special guest appearance tonight. All right, so next question. One of the things you've been supposed to be doing every day is reading up to an hour, whether you're reading Hatchet, whether you're on Raz Kids, or you got your own book on there. Where have you guys been reading? Do you have a special spot in your house? Are you reading inside, outside, in your bed? Got like a special chair, beanbag? Are you up in a tree fort? Are you on your roof? You know, where are you going to read? Where are you getting your read time in? See people reading in their bed. Sometimes I can do that, but sometimes I fall asleep if I'm reading in my bed. So I got to sit up and lean on the wall. Still seeing a lot of the fun things that are going on. You guys are talking about some board games and some other stuff you're doing for fun. It looks like everybody's reading in their bed. Like I told you, I don't think I could do that. Some couches. Wonder if anybody's got any funny places to. Mrs. Clark, there she is. She's reading The Great Gatsby. She talked about helping her daughter with that one. You know, it's funny. Some of us as parents that are teachers are helping our own kids. My kids are a little bit older. They're pretty independent right now, so I'm not having to do a ton of homework help. But I know some of you have little brothers and sisters that you've been helping out. You've almost been like the extra parent and been making that work. So good to hear from you guys. All right, well, here's what's going to happen on the rest of the video tonight as we go forward. I want to chat a little bit about some of the work that you guys have been doing, but honestly, right now that's going to seem boring after all this fun talk that's going on. So feel free to listen. Feel free to keep throwing texts in there, but I'm going to keep my eye out for some questions that people might have. So if you are hearing me talk about something and it makes you think of a question, both parents and kids, feel free to throw that out to me in the text box, and I'll try to keep my eyes over there. So if you see my eyes off on an angle there, I'm going to try to keep reading this, that we can go through our subjects. So you heard me talking about reading. Definitely continue on with Raz Kids. Those assessments are a great way for you to be accountable, and that you're going to be getting some all different kinds of texts. That Hatchet book is awesome, and I feel like our classroom loves that one. But if you want to get a bunch of different kinds of text, fiction and nonfiction and stuff like that, keep setting that goal for an hour a day. If anybody's been having trouble on getting on Raz Kids, you can put that now or send that to me and remind, and I can maybe help you get set up there. In writing, I know that you guys should be finishing up with rough drafting, and that you can be finishing off those cards and writing that rough draft today. I attached today copies of the reviser's checklist and the editor's checklist. You should be going through that today so that tomorrow you're making final copy. It's okay if you want to type your final copy or handwrite it. Either one is okay. I did see one unrelated question, but I want to definitely answer it. Pinewood lunch open next week too? Absolutely. Actually, for the next 2 weeks, the plan is for Pinewood to still be open from 11 to 1 every day. And if you, for whatever reason, can't hit 11 to 1, all the way from like 9 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. One of the Warren Woods Public Schools is open then, so that you can hit it at Westwood or Briarwood or the middle school or Tower if you can't make it there from 11 to 1. If you are done, somebody said if you're done with your final copy, that's it for writing. So that tomorrow, most people should be typing or writing final copies, and then that's the end of it. Next week, we're going to begin writing narratives. That means a story that you create. We've done personal narratives that use I, me, my stories about you. But this next story is going to be anyone that you create. It can be any genre. We've been talking a lot about summaries and story plans that involve introducing the characters and the setting and the problem, and then what do the characters do about the problem? What are the events of the story, and how do those events lead towards the ending and a conclusion there? So we talked about a 5-finger summary that did those things: character, setting, problem, events, and resolution or conclusion. And so next week, be brainstorming. You guys are such a creative bunch. I know that I'm going to get some great stories when you guys come back and be able to read through those. So that's next week for writing, is narratives. The math work that you've been doing in the SMJ, I know that those math boxes are such a variety of work, and that there's going to be a problem or two that comes along that you don't know. I really want to encourage you guys to create kind of the homework buddy system of maybe you won't know how to do that one, but somebody else will, whether you're using FaceTime on a phone or just even sending text messages with pictures. Being able to have someone else help you with your math homework would be a great way to do it. I'm more than happy to as well. So parents, students, you can send me a picture of one of the SMJ math box problems, and I'd be more than happy to talk you through it via text. Social studies. You guys have been watching Liberty's Kids. You should be up to episode 4 by today and episode 5 tomorrow. And so as you've been watching, you always hear me use this phrase in social studies: what happened in history, it depends on who you are. It depends on what area of the world you had come from, what race you were, what gender you were, and whether you had money or not. And so the history story is not that simple. And so as you've read through or been watching the Liberty's Kids episode, you've met a couple of the fictional characters that were added to the video series. That was James, Sarah, Henri, and Moses. So James was a boy who was from the American colonies. He had been born here, spent his whole life here. Sarah was the girl the redheaded girl who had just moved from Great Britain. So she was still loyal to Great Britain. She thought that people in the Americas were going nuts. And so she has a very opposite perspective than James does. Henri was the little boy with the French accent, and he was representative of the people who lived in the colonies who weren't British. There were other people from other countries. Then the last character was Moses, and that was the black man who worked for Ben Franklin. He was not enslaved. Earlier in his life, he had been enslaved, and so for African Americans, life was very different in the colonies. And so one of the things I like about this video is it takes a bunch of different perspectives of history, especially during this time period. So as I've been looking, not a ton of questions. I'll look back in here. An open sentence is when you are in the math SMJ pages. There was one from today. It talked about an open sentence, and that basically means use the numbers to write an equation, something that has an equal sign in it. And so in a number sentence might be something like 3 + 2 = 5. That's a number sentence. And so it's just using numbers to make a sentence. Starting to hear a few of you talk about your idea of what it takes to be a taco. Just kidding. Gabe said he's waiting for me to say taco. There it is, buddy. But that idea of I can create number sentences that describe how I got my answer. Narrative, can I start it early? Absolutely. Some of you guys have had some great adventures this week. And so those might make for a great story. You can add some other characters to your story. It can make it sound like it's you by saying I, me, my, and us. But you can add in things that are fictional or that didn't really happen. So absolutely. And that's about it for schoolwork. If there's any other couple more questions, the questions that have come up. It's been scrolling pretty fast, so it's been hard to see all of them as we go. But we're going to start Kahoot here in about 1 minute. So if you want to get yourself ready, I'm going to give you the code for that. And if you just Google Kahoot, or if you go to kahoot.it, so that's KAHOOT.IT. We haven't used these yet, but I think maybe STEM class has used it for you guys. So maybe you've done a few of these. So you're going to kahoot.it. That can be on a cell phone or any other smart phone or device or anything like that that you have. And then I'm going to give you a code here that will log you into this one. So we're going to Kahoot, and the code is 530-3519. Actually, you know what? I'm going to type it right into here. It goes 530-3519. And there's the Kahoot code. So go to kahoot.it, and you're going to get ready to take that Kahoot. So I've been having trouble getting the questions to come up. So I'm going to move my laptop here so that it faces my other computer monitor. And then we're going to get ready to go in from here. So if you are looking at my screen right here, this is going to tell you how to go on. So there it is, kahoot.it. And all right, we're getting a few of you in there. You can see the names coming up. And so we want to have those names up there so we can have bragging rights as to who's going to win this one. We'll give you a couple more minutes here for people to do that. We've got 12 participants so far, and I see a lot of names on the chat on the side there that aren't on here yet. So I'm going to give you another minute or two. There's a couple more coming in. All right, we're going to give them 60 more seconds. If those of you who are listening still, you're going to kahoot.it, or some of you might still have that app on your phone from something else. Oh, the screen's going to end up being backwards, isn't it? So sorry about that. I don't know. I need to get out a mirror or something and do a double reflection. So it's 530-3519. All right, we're up to about 20 so far. I think we've got more than that on here. I think we had about 25 or so on the chat, and then we're going to get started here in about another 30 seconds. So just in case you're wondering, the first 5 questions are going to be about social studies connected to the Liberties Kids or other notes that you've taken. So someone asked me yesterday about spy files. Yes, you should be continuing your spy files and social studies. And basically that means that if you were a British spy, who would you be spying on in the Americas to be part of the rebellion that's going against the king? And so if you have your spy files or you have your notes, I'm not there to say no cheating, so go ahead and get them out. The first 5 questions are all going to be reflective of those notes and videos on Liberties Kids. And then the last 5 questions, well, you're just going to have to wait and see how to succeed at those last 5 questions. All right, we're getting ready to start here in just a second. So forgive the reverse nature of the screen, but we're going to get ready for question 1 here. All right, where did the Tea Party happen? You've got Boston, Philadelphia, New York, and Detroit. Where did the Tea Party happen? That picture there on the screen, that's my son Zeke. All right, looks like a lot of people have chosen A, or the first one, Boston. And scoreboard. Remember, in Kahoot, you get a little bit of bonus points how early you answer it. So Audrina probably hit it a fraction of a second before Liam, and so on from there. All right, question 2. Sam Adams was the leader of the – who is he the leader of? Was he the leader of the Sons of Liberty, Congress, Parliament, or the Trade Federation? Wait, Trade Federation, isn't that from Star Wars? All right, there's our questions in. And lots of people got Sons of Liberty. All right, you paid attention to episode 1. Good for you. And, Ilias moving into first place. All right, question 3. Famous phrase. Who said this? Give me liberty or give me death. I don't think it's that weird guy. This is the last time I let my son pick the pictures that go on Kahoot. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin, or Patrick Henry? Who said, give me liberty or give me death? Man, you guys have been paying attention. This was today's episode, I think. Or might have been episode 3 yesterday. All right, Evan moving up into first place by a couple points. All right, so there was a group that met in Philadelphia to plan a response to the British actions. I think this Lego guy was there, but who was he? Roblox, sorry. Who was he with? Continental Congress, Sons of Liberty, Pennsylvania Presidents, or the Philadelphia Printers? Who met in Philadelphia to plan a response to the British actions? Ooh, we got a little bit more variety on this one. A few people didn't get their answer in, but still we had many people guessing it right. Ooh, Serenity is moving up. She passed Evan. All right, question 5. Ooh, everything we've been watching and reading about. What war is coming? Not the war with the coronavirus, but which one of these 4? Is it the Revolutionary War, French and Indian War, Civil War, or World War I? 17 answers. Got a couple more. Remember, taking a guess is always a good thing. All right, 10 people got it right. And, looks like it's a 2-way battle right now for first place. Question 6. Oh, the questions are switching over. No longer questions about soul studies. Have you been paying attention to... Jeez, that's the kid from Stranger Things, isn't it? Which sport did my son Zeke play at Tower? Soccer, football, baseball, or basketball? That guy with the wrinkles in his neck, I don't think he played any sports. Ooh, 50-50. It was in the fall, but soccer wins out over football. That's the right answer. See who caught that one. Oh, you guys got to catch Evan. He's running away with this thing. Got 3 more questions. Where did Mr. Nitz's daughters go to college? You should edit that apostrophe out of daughters there. And I think that guy's from Jimmy Neutron. We almost watched that on the last day of school last week. So did she go to Michigan and one to Michigan State, Michigan and Oakland State and Wayne State, or Oakland and Wayne? Where did Kylie and Mackenzie go to college? And, they were close. Got 1 right, but 1 wrong on that 9. Man, Evan, he listens. All right, what is my dog's name? If you've heard me tell stories about my dog, I did not eat my dog. It does not taste like chicken, but is my dog's name Walter, Kevin, Popper, or I don't have a dog? Come on, we got to get these answers in. You got 2 seconds. Tastes like chicken. You have paid attention. You've heard me say it probably 1,000 times. We don't have a lot of pets. Actually, Zeke has a snail, but that's it. All right, looks like we got a battle for second place going here, and that's it. How long have I been teaching? It's been 5th grade the whole time. And that was me in my first year of teaching there. 22 years. Tomorrow was my first day. The beginning of time, or 21 years. I have a feeling, other than Gabe, everybody's going to choose 22 or 21. Yep, there it is. And we're going to see 3rd place is Emily. Nice. 2nd place, Serenity. And 1st place goes to Evan Eichhoff. Some of you might not know this, but if Evan's at his house right now, Evan actually lives about 100 yards from me around the corner. So he might be like looking in my living room, cheating right now. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but congratulations to Evan. Hey, thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in tonight and playing the Kahoot. My hope is to every once in a while do one of these over the next 2 weeks. On a more serious note, I really do miss you guys, and I'm proud of you. So many of your parents have been texting me a reminder. I texted most of them today and asked them how things were going, and they said things are going good. They're working hard. They've had a little problem with this writing thing or this math thing, but we worked through it. So I'm really proud of the way that you guys are doing good work at home. As I'm sure there's many things that are uncertain right now, which means we don't know what's going to happen or what our first day of school back is going to be. But the fact that you guys are taking charge of your own learning and keeping your skills fresh, I really I just admire you. I know that when I was a kid, how hard this would be, and you guys are really handling this really well. So proud of you. Keep up the good work. And I will post one more video tomorrow on Friday. And then kind of weird, you might not even remember what day of the week it is. Today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. And then the weekend, we're not going to assign new work. But really what that means is that if there's anything that was left undone from the week, finishing your writing or anything like that, the work that you did this week is something that you can continue in on Saturday and Sunday. I see a few people over on the thing said they couldn't get into Kahoot. We'll try to make another one. This time I'll make my own pictures, but we'll do that again. That was fun, and we can try to make it work for us. Have a great night, Pinewood, and I will talk to you tomorrow via my next video. See ya.